Hello and welcome to the Tech with Heart Show. I am your host, Michelle Calloway. The Tech with Heart Show is all around enlightening and empowering small business owners to be able to embrace technologies, systems, and strategies that are going to help them stay competitive in today's rapidly changing digital landscape. And so today we're going to talk about LinkedIn. But before I get into the questions, I want to just introduce our special guest. Her name is Wendy Pace, and she is a digital marketing and social media manager, and she is the owner of Pace Setting Media. And she leverages the power of SEO and keyword-driven content for like blogs and just any kind of articles, email blasts, and direct mail even, to help her clients attract more traffic, generate more traffic for those perfect customers that they're hoping to get in front of. So without further ado, oh, and we're going to talk about LinkedIn specifically as far as the platforms today. We're going to talk about how we can leverage some very unique strategies that Wendy is going to talk about that you probably have never heard of before. So without further ado, help me welcome Wendy Pace to the Tech with Heart Show.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Yes, we're happy you said yes to this opportunity to come and share your wonderful insights with our small business audience. You know, small business owners, I'm always saying you guys need to have a presence on LinkedIn. And I know you're going to talk about some unique strategies that maybe not everybody has heard of today. So what is like the first thing that you're thinking that maybe they've not heard of today that they do need to be paying attention to and hopefully doing on their either personal or their business profile on LinkedIn?
I would say one of the key things now, because the small business owner wears a lot of hats and they're trying to do everything for themselves. And a lot of times they don't realize that they need to take some of the stuff off their plate. One of the ways they can do that is by, of course, hiring a social media manager. I volunteer. But the other thing they can do is create a video library, right? So if they would take a day out of the month and either set up their iPhone, and of course you have to understand lighting and all of those things, but if they wanted to just take it a step further and talk to their friend who's really good with a camera and create content all in one sitting, right? So they're going to create a video library that allows them to take snippets or to even have longer discussions that they can then utilize and schedule out on their social media that they would hit on a regular basis. Even if that video is just hitting once a week, right? It's putting content out there. It's allowing your business to be indexed, but it's also sharing insights into whatever your specific specialty is. And they're getting it right from the person. So it's kind of a twofold even. You have your, because we've talked about LinkedIn is where you show your expertise, right? And by creating these videos and putting this library together, it allows you to talk on certain topics. You might see something's trending and you want to get your insights out there. It's another way for you to even look back at yourself and go, I probably could get even more information out on this, and then see how it's trending. So you put out the video, you get a lot of clicks. Most of the time you get a lot of clicks in the beginning because they're like, hey, that's my friend. I'm going to go click on them because they're showing their face. They're coming out from behind their computer, or they're clicking on it because they're agreeing with you and they're verifying or validating your expertise on the subject that you're talking about. So in a nutshell, creating video libraries allows you to kind of capsulize your talking points, but also it lets you have a group of videos that you can pull from on a regular basis, and it will help you increase your ability to post more frequently. Increase your ability to post more frequently. A group increase your ability to post more. So I would say because of the size of videos, I would say it's actually better to house them on your YouTube channel or even on Vimeo and keep them there. Use your URLs to post, and then it brings them back. Yes, it takes them away from LinkedIn because they're going to go watch your videos, but it also allows you to have your library accessible so they can go, oh, I liked that, I'm going to go to the next one and the next one, instead of trying to scroll through your feed and find them over and over again. So it gives, it's basically your shelf in the library, right? You're going to have your shelf of videos there, and you're going to have, if you're doing it right, you're going to have them tagged so that it's easy for them to go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. From 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Yes, there is a feature on LinkedIn, and it will allow you to have a few videos there. But what I'm saying is, on uploads and loading times, all of that, it's safer to keep them off-site. All of that, it's safe. Yes, they'll binge watch you. The other thing is, you want to make sure that your meta tags are, on point. And some people are like, what is that? So you're looking at your hashtags, but you're also looking at your backends, that the words that you're utilizing to describe your video, so that it's easier for you to be indexed by Google. I would say that the other thing that people underutilize is the groups on LinkedIn, right? You have these wonderful groups, are content specific. I get notifications from LinkedIn all the time. Matter of fact, just did, that says, we would like you to comment on this because of your expertise. And so as you're building your audience through your videos, through the blogs or articles that you're posting, share those in groups. Those are the people who are actually interested in your content. So look for groups that are specific to what you're trying to get your point across to. It may be for the roofer, it might be, the commercial property person, or for the credit union person, it might be risk assessment, or IT. There's so many different specific groups that you can definitely find your niche, and you'll find people not only who share your interests, but you'll find other experts that can help you with whatever the problem is you're trying to get solved. Remember, at the end of the day, social media is about being the answer to the question somebody's searching on. That's how you get indexed by Google. It's because it's not just relevant, but it's got to be useful information that you're imparting. It's not just, hey, I'm great, I'm fantastic, and I'm an expert. You have to be giving something that is useful to the audience for Google to then go, yes, that's good content. We're going to move that up the ladder. Useful to the audience. in LinkedIn, it is important to not only just like something, but to leave a comment as to why that information was relevant to you. Not only does it show that you read it, you're not just liking your friend's stuff, but it sparks conversation. Engagement is crucial for social media to be viable and useful in any way, shape, or form. So by commenting, you're giving that person the opportunity to show more of their expertise, but also to share your own expertise. And that then gets you maybe a follow, maybe a like, maybe a share. These are all important markers that your social media is working for you.
Being able to do business online is crucial for survival, especially during times of social distancing. So how do you survive and thrive in the sea of digital noise? It's a lot like fishing. You need to know who your perfect customer is so that you can use the right kind of lure to attract them. We help you catch your perfect customer and retain them for future sales through highly converting websites, influencer mobile apps, getting you featured in the news and on TV. Hi, my name is Jerry Bowden, U.S. Army veteran and president of Revealio Software Solutions. Our goal is to help you rise above the competition, be seen as an expert authority in your industry, and embrace technology to stay competitive for long-term success. It's more affordable than you may think. So reach out to us at Revealio.com, and together we will make your business come alive.
So when you're getting traction on your comments, you're getting likes, you're getting thumbs up, you're getting loves on your comments, you know that that's a group that's more engaging. But the other thing that they can do, and it may not seem like it makes sense to do this, but even if they're not the answer to the question, refer the person who is. Bring that person into the group. If you can help somebody find an answer, you bringing more value to the table, because then it's not just about you and trying to grow your business, but you're helping those who are there to grow their business. And that never gets old, and it never has a bad result, right? There's what's called giver's gain, right? Where you are always helping others. You're not in the room just to help yourself and grow your own business, but to help everybody around you. And that always comes back to you tenfold. So participating in groups and giving answers that may not lead them back to you, but are leading them to somebody else can never go wrong for you. Never go wrong for you. I would say if you assign yourself one day out of the week, whether that's Tuesday night or Wednesday night, and you go in while you're sort of kind of Netflixing and go through the groups, see what the conversations are about, add something in, because everybody's hitting that group at different times. It's not like everybody's like, hey, 6 o'clock on Tuesday night, we're all going to be in group. It doesn't work that way. So you want to put in your comment, just take the time, Tuesday night, make it your homework. that you go in and you comment, you like, you follow, you share things. That will then come back to you, and they'll start sharing your content, and like, oh, so and so shared my content. Oh, let me go see what they did. What have they posted? And then they share, and it goes back and forth. Like I said, givers gain. You never lose that. Even if it comes back to you 2, 3, 4 weeks, even a month later, that somebody was like finally looking at their own groups going, oh, I didn't know that they liked my stuff. Now let me go see who they are and why I should like and follow them in return.
Let's talk about
The other thing is, I'm
I'm
sorry.
so sorry. I didn't realize you had more. Go ahead, please do share.
The other thing is that the business owner has to understand that the average business owner is spending 6 to 8 hours a week creating content. And a lot of times business owners go, I just don't have the time for that. But if you just take that one day and you create all your content, this again comes back to the library, comes back to the articles, comes back to the blogging, all of that counts together. It's not just 6 hours of scheduling what's going to go out. It's 6 hours of creating content that you're then going to utilize later on. If you didn't have time to comment, you sure don't have time to start a group. Look through the groups first. Why reinvent the wheel? Find a group, even if it's got 10 members, join it. Figure out whether it's active. Those 10 people can probably have more value than the group that has 500,000, right? Or 100,000 people. It all depends on how active those groups are. And there's no reason to, like, seriously, please don't start another group. Unless you cannot find a group that's actually pertaining to your industry, which is hard to believe because there's so many of them out there. Find a group to join first before you go and create your own, because you're just making more work for yourself. So just to clarify, personal branding is an intentional effort to influence or to create a perception of who your public persona is. It's also positioning yourself as an authority on your topic. So that brings us back to group membership. That brings us back to video creation, because all of those things are utilized, especially on LinkedIn, to start developing your personal brand. It's a confluence of all of these things coming together to create your specialty, right? It's to create your authority on your topic. It's not just you, the person, but why you, the person, is of value to anybody else seeking those answers. So you have to understand the audience that you're talking to. And when you're talking on these topics, you want to make sure you're hitting what they care about. What is their pain point, and how are you the answer to that question? That is how you start developing your personal brand. It's also, my specialty is, I'm an authority on this. All of those things go hand in hand. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, I mean,
people are looking for integrity, right? They're looking to trust. And your personal branding is about developing that trust online, not just as an authority on your topic. They want to trust the company you're with, especially for the small business owner. There are so many people out there that keep saying, I want a small business. I want to support small business. But they lean away from it because the small business person hasn't developed that online authenticity through their self-branding, their personal branding, their video, their content. None of that has touched on what that, and some of that falls into they don't know who their audience is. So first and foremost, you have to have an understanding of who it is you're trying to reach, and then speak to that audience in creating your brand awareness, your personal brand, and your authenticity. Hopefully that answered that question. In creating your brand awareness, your personal brand, your brand awareness, your brand awareness, your brand awareness, well, you had said I'm looking for all of them, and then I'm looking for this. So it's like a Venn diagram. You've got to see where they overlap each other, right? And then take that snippet, and it all gets encompassed into this is who I am, right? I'm wearing this hat and I'm wearing that hat, but in the center of it is you. So when you find those topics that overlap, those are the ones that you're going to utilize to hit those audiences. And you have to know where your audiences are as well. One of the things that I always say is Facebook is the warm fuzzy, LinkedIn is for the expertise, Twitter and is just commentary, and Instagram is where you're image heavy. So you have to understand who in your audience are on those platforms and what are they looking for there. What kind of information are, and you gauge the content that you're creating based on the platform it's going to be on. So you're, again, going back to that Venn diagram, you're going to hit those certain audience members depending on the topics that you're discussing or the question that you're answering. And some of them will overlap and some of them won't. And some of them will overlap and some. So we want to have a video library. We want to create content that we can pull from. It's not something you do on the spur of the moment. You have to be thoughtful in creating your content. Think about it, write it out, outline it, figure out what it is people are looking for at that moment. And month to month, it can change. So you gotta have to make that plan every month that you're gonna sit down, create your video library and utilize those snippets on a one-to-one basis. Then, and by doing that, you're creating your authenticity and your likability, because you're going to be on video. They're either going to like you or they're going to love you, or they're going to not like you and not follow you. And that happens. Video is not for everybody. Some, people say they have a face for radio. It happens. So by creating the content, you're answering the questions, you're engaging with your audience, you're creating your expertise on it, and then you're also imparting to them the information that they should be looking for that is relevant to why they want to work with you in your business. You then utilize these groups for that, because now you have a specific audience who's looking for this information. So as you were saying, you have two different hats that you wear. Some of the content that you create for Tech with Heart is relevant for Revelio, and you can find those groups that cover those two bases. It might be a nonprofit group that's trying to understand how to utilize tech today, and that's where you would be in your sweet spot. At the end of the day, you want to impart knowledge that's going to be helpful and uplifting to the person who's seeking those answers. Every day, people are on there Googling, trying to find an answer, whether it's a business-related question or a personal-related question. At some point, you're the answer to that question, and that's what you have to figure out at the end of the day. How am I being the answer to a question somebody's seeking? At some point, you're the Absolutely. It's Wendy at pacesettingmedia.com, or they can just go to the website, pacesettingmedia.com. I'm the phone number you're going to reach. Make the leap. Take the step. Have faith in who you are and your abilities, because somebody out there needs you. Take the step.
Your story needs to be seen and heard, and your brand needs to be revealed. Revelio elevates purpose-driven businesses into the spotlight through video storytelling, augmented reality video marketing, and professional website design. Get discovered online or in the news. Be featured in national magazines or host your own TV, podcast, or live radio show. Together, we make your brand come alive. All it takes is Revelio. Visit Revelio.com to get started today. Minority and service disabled veteran owned.